चालू करायचं ना सर चालू. Hello, all the students, please keep their phone on silence. A very good morning to respected dignitaries, faculty members, and students present here. I, Rutvik,
And I, Saurabh,
feel privileged and take this opportunity to welcome you all to the wonderful inauguration ceremony of COEP's Youth Empowering Center. I request all the dignitaries to kindly occupy their seats. ए, प्रणव दाता कुठे? प्रणव दाता, अरे COP गीत म्हणायचे.
let us start this auspicious ceremony with a deep prajwalan. I request our Secretary of Youth Empowering Center, Sakshi, to take the dignitaries towards the deep prajwalan and kindly start our program. A ray of light is a ray of hope. Let's all leave the darkness and step towards the bright path. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now, we would like to invite Pranav Datar to come forward and represent COP Geet.
अंतरात दाटते चित्रते सदेखणे शारदे तुझा कृपे चित्रते सरेखणे अहंतेस स्पर्श दे विनय पूर्ण लाघवी मम यशात वाढते ती तुझी सथोरवी ती तुझी सथोरवी येथे परंपरेचा अभिमान व्यर्थ नाही सामर्थ्य सत्यजित्त कोणास वंद्य नाही कोणास वंद्य नाही आजचे अंकुर उद्याच्या आसमंती सूर्य होती. प्राक्तनाची शिवधनुष्ये राम इथले ध्वस करीती. ज्ञान येथे सर्जनाची कास धरिते निर्मिताना. माणसाला माणसाचे भान आहे चालताना. भान आहे चालताना. विश्वस्त झेप आहे येथे कलंदरांची. सृजनात धुंद होणे येथे अतर्क्य नाही. येथे अतर्क्य नाही. पंथ आहे नेहमीचा गुरुवंतांच्या बळाचा. पालकांची थाप आहे विनय ही निश्राप आहे. या या सर्जनाचा माणसाच्या गौरवाचा स्रोत हा निर्व्याज आहे. दश दिशांना गाज आहे. दश दिशांना गाज आहे. उद्देश जिंकण्याचा येथे अजिंक्य आहे. मधुकोश निर्मितीचा याहून रम्य नाही. याहून रम्य नाही. येथे परंपरेचा अभिमान व्यर्थ नाही. सामर्थ्य सत्यजित्त कोणास वंद्य नाही. कोणास वंद्य नाही. कोणास वंद्य नाही. धन्यवाद.
Thank you, Pranav. Henry Ford once said, coming together is a beginning, keeping together is a progress, and working together is a success. It was indeed. This mantra of working together has brought us where we are today. Now, moving forward to our next session, felicitation of dignitaries. I request our chief guest, Honorable Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe sir, to kindly accept a memento as a token of our love, respect, and affection. I take this opportunity to request the Vice Chancellor of COEP Technological University, Honorable Professor Mukul Sutavne sir, to felicitate Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe sir. Now, I would like to request Faculty Advisor of YEC, Professor Birazdar sir, to felicitate Sutavne sir.
Thank you, sir. Now let's move forward to our next session of a special talk. I would like to request Professor Birazdar sir to share his thoughts.
Today's chief guest, Anil Sahasrabudhe sir, our Vice Chancellor, Sutavne sir, Professor Khon, students and faculty. This program is basically for YEC, Youth Empowering Center. This is a young center. I think recently is 30 days or less it has created. This has happened in a natural way. There was as such no design was there and no thought was there. How so it's happened? There was a will of a student to come together and do some activity related to them. They need something, they want to share something, they want to improve something, and for that reason this center has been created. There are many clubs in this institute or in this university, I think more than 50, but still the creation of this center is a different agenda. There is a reason behind this. Reason is that something is shortfall among the student and that gap is to be filled. So what is gap? The student said that we want to put happiness in doing the things. And when happiness is there, there is empowerment. And when there is empowerment, there is a success. And there is a peace of mind. All what it is connected there. So basically the center will give you peace of mind, where your mind will be balanced. Balance of all the things. Not asking you to sacrifice something, but absorb everything or handle everything, manage everything. Cover everything, includes everything. All is accepted. This idea was just discussed, I think, in a 5-10 minutes, and we got importance. And immediately Sutone sir, yes, go ahead. And now the natural forces came together and this center happened in less than 30 days. Because there was a will of an Almighty to happen this thing. And this has happened. Students came naturally together. Naturally, when they said they got the idea, they say, "Arey, this is something new. All other technical activity, personal development activity, or many activities, fun activity, sport activity, they are there always. University is famous for that, and it is a culture of this university. Education is happening everywhere. We learn it from Sahasrabudhe sir. He is peak of that body. He is the head of technical education all over country. But his interest is more inclined in student activity. Just I texted him, sir, we want your presence for this, and immediately he said yes. He said, I am available. It was rather an informal communication, but made it a formal, and students were happy. The calling Sahasrabudhe sir, this is an opportunity for us. Because he is a part of COEP. He was and he is also. He stayed there more than 9 years. And I think later 9 years are over after his departure. Still he loves it to come COEP, talk to the people, talk to the student. Why it happens that way? Because he likes. And what he likes, he does it. What you like or what he likes, he does it. And the happiness is automatically around the things. That's what we are here, and we are blessed rather. His presence is here. He will share his thoughts, his experience, his ideas and all this to you people as a youth. He is one of the student, rather the senior student in a student. Whenever he was working here, his first priority was students, mixing with students, always first priority. He never failed in replying the student, I tell you. 100 together emails were there. Every day he used to clear. What does it mean? It is a concern, it is attachment, it is a duty, it is a love. What he has shown, he had shown that time. The students were blessed that time. This institute geared up to the next level during his tenure. Earlier the institute was there working in a normal way, in a government way. He opened the doors of new opportunities where myself I also developed how the things can be done well. Under his mentorship, leadership, the things were moving. He did the things by heart, not by your something, a mind, and mind is always biased, I tell you. But if you do the things by heart, let whatever it is there, he did passionately. Passionately means no comeback, because his intention was good, and he is good also. He did many things. N number of list is there. My colleagues will be knowing, those who are here, they know the tenure, how, and what the institute has transferred from stage 1 to stage next to next to next. When he was here as a director, all over India ranking was, I think, it was 16, 21 or 25, in the range of that thing. All over India we were floating. Because it was a new experiment. Catching the new ideas at that age. Basically, he's a professor. He was in IIT Guwahati. And he came here because of blessing of F.C. Klohli, who was the chairman of COP, past chairman. Whatever he did, passionately he did it. He was very eager. He is eager, I tell you. And these kind of qualities are nothing but it is a leadership qualities in doing whatever the work is there. And that's what we are here to listen him. We can have difference of opinion. We agree, we welcome. He has welcomed also all sides of opinion and differences. But never looked back. Never. He said, go ahead. Next, moving onward is a success. And whatever it has come, naturally it has come in his way. So we are here, students. We are quite lucky and blessed. His presence here. We are happy. Personally, I am also quite happy because we fought each other also, but we enjoyed, I tell you. And that fight was for progress of institute, nothing else, no personal, no loss. It was concerned to the quality of work done to be the level 1 to 2 to 3. That was the fight. It was not fight of something odd or reverse or negative or this thing. And it has worked well. We enjoyed. Still we enjoy. He's like a big brother, I tell you, for me. I never felt he's a boss in institute and he will, no, never. Few might be feeling that way. But I was having that level of comfort. And when you have a comfort level, you can do better job, I tell you. You can do better job. When the comfort is there, understanding is there, communication there, clarity is there, good things automatically will follow you what you wish it. And that what I developed myself by way of doing a practice under his leadership. And today we are comfortable. Sutone sir is also his student. His student. Student is nothing means in a classroom it has to be done. No. Mentorship he has done it. Arey, you are good in this one, come. You do this thing. Finding a possibility of doing the good things in someone is the leadership what he has done it. This is one of the job of leader. Someone is good in some area and that area is to be uplifted. And that's what job he has done it. Not necessarily the definition is to be followed in a leadership and the job is to be done. He has done the work without, what do you mean work? Work means you do your work for the purpose, not for any return. There was nothing expecting ki Professor Chaudhary, you come and do this thing means what? Was he expecting something for himself? No. Whatever the expectations were there for a larger interest. Whatever the things what we learned it. And these things happen, those who are observing keenly, they catch up. And that's why today the institute is there. Few example I tell you. Very beginning he joined here, there was shortage of hostel. Yeah, passionately he fought it. This 11-story building, All girls are accommodated in that hostel. Nobody is deprived and will not be deprived, I tell you. He has done that kind of facility. This academic complex is a creation what he made in his tenure. He was very passionate. Like a child he was fighting, I tell you some. Many times. He was not looking what he is there and whatever the work. I remember one work at midnight somewhere. That land issue and whatnot. Dargah, yeah. He knows it. He enjoyed also. At 11:30, he wrote the application to police and said, "You sign here. I want this." He was calling me, but I couldn't catch up. He was. Then Chaudhary sir came and did their job. What was the reason? They said, "This is our land." Somebody, ex-wife fellow, was catching. I mean to say, getting illegally possession and this thing. Who was holding the Sadbara of this land? Not Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe. It was the institute land. And he was fighting. So this is called as a leadership. If I do job for myself, if I earn something myself, it's a limited purpose. But when the purpose is a larger, many are getting benefited. Years together the benefit is getting derived. That is called as a leadership. Always 24-hour thinking about the institute. Whenever he is doing the work, always thinking. Like one, I think, once in hospital, he was in hospital. I went, sir, hello. Then he was talking, Are, what happened to that work? I remember, sir, you are there on bed. But he was thinking about work, I tell you. His was not a heart operation was there. Before 1 hour, he was talking about work and saying, Are, that you. So that means he was merged, totally integrated. He was looking the purpose of life is to serve. Serve whatever around you there, whatever your duty is there. And that is what the kind of leadership which is selfless that we are going to see today. We salute you, sir. Institute salutes you. You are not aware what job has done. You may not feel it that way. You did it naturally. That's what you may not think. But the impact is different, I tell you. Impact is huge, long. This is had changed a lot and we enjoyed. We got empowered because of you, your style of working. It is a choice of thing what you want to take it forward. Whatever it is there, it is everybody's choice. And he made the choice in a better way, how to develop it. Our friends here, we are happy and we will listen him. We will be also communicating with him in future, will not leave him. He is our part and institute will be benefit. Still he is thinking about institute, this things, ye ho gaya kya, wo ho gaya kya. Whenever there is a need of helping the hand, he used to. Why he should do? No. It's a kind of a love again, I say. And in love business, I think no calculation are done. No expectation are done. It's just give it and leave it and forget it. And that is what called as a upper level of, highest level of leadership. And that's what we want to get motivated from him. And today, he is there with us. Sir, thank you very much for coming here and blessing us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request Vice Chancellor of the COP Technological University, Honorable Mukul Sutane, sir, to express his views.
Professor Birazdar made my job really easy. And any one of us, any one of our faculty colleagues who spend time with Professor Sahasrabudhe would probably take hours together to describe him. And we are all really emotional guys over here. And then we become always emotional, filled with feelings when he comes here. Dear students present in this hall who would probably like to be part of this Youth Empowering Center, the new club probably, club is not a good word actually. Club is a Western word, okay. संस्कृती आपली एक वेगळी संस्कृती आहे त्याच्यात सेंटरच शब्द बरा वाटतो जरा सो इट्स अ यूथ एम्पॉवरिंग सेंटर यू वुड लव टू बी पार्ट ऑफ दिस सेंटर बिकॉज इट इज गोइंग टू स्प्रेड हॅपीनेस ॲज प्रोफेसर बिराजदार वॉज डिस्क्रायबिंग all the office bearers of this new youth empowering center which is led by Sakshi you have done really a good job. All my faculty colleagues present over here, new set of functionaries of COEP Technological University, I can see a lot of them over here. Professor Chaudhary, our old friend forever and principal of SPIT, my friend Bhunesh Kulkarni. Professor Birazdar, who's leading this youth empowering center from the front as a faculty advisor, and Dr. Mohan Khond, who's a director, first director of Board of Student Developments of COEP Technological University. It's a parallel portfolio of Dean of Student Affairs. Dr. Nilima, who happens to be our Vice President Gymkhana, and above all, center of attraction today. I am also thrilled and excited to describe how much I can, Professor Sahasrabudhe, beloved Sahasrabudhe sir, to this campus, and who else other than him can inaugurate this center which is committed to spread happiness. The man who went on spreading happiness on this campus, he is here, very much is here. And the topic, which was not known to me a priori, and then it was simply printed on that, what you can say, the board, and then it was given to me, that it was leadership in youth is life, right? And who else other than Professor Sahasrabudhe, who can with authoritatively can something discourse on leadership. He is a live demonstration of leadership, which we realized. Informal way of grooming next generation for the leadership. That is Professor Sahasrabudhe. Okay, so Professor Birazdar was really, with feelings, he said that there are many attributes and traits we can attach and tag with Professor Sahasrabudhe, but I feel he was an entrepreneur in himself. He formally brought entrepreneurship education on the campus in 2008. I was training placement officer, the job which I disliked most, but then, and I immediately delegated that to Professor Meshram, and then he made me to participate in 5 workshops at IIM Bangalore. He may not be remembering. And I was surprised that I'm a signal processing teacher, happy with that teaching. Why did he push me towards learning entrepreneurship? For disseminating education in entrepreneurship. He connected me with Narendra Kale, Sanjay Namdar, 2 great personalities. Because Bhau Institute was taking shape those days. It was his brainchild, those 2 gentlemen, and Professor Sahasrabudhe. And then entrepreneurship education was taking shape. See, it was quite well ahead of time. It was not formally in any part of the country, and we were among the first institutions to establish formal entrepreneurship education on campus. And then I taught it with Sanjay Namdar sir and Narendra Kale sir. A lot of shouting from him. Online sessions on Skype from Narendra Kale. He used to wake up early in the morning, and I was here. Cameras didn't work, network bandwidth was limited. And then with his all that loving kind of shouting, I had a thrilling experience those days also. But I formally became entrepreneurship educator. But entrepreneurship is all about accepting challenges, seeing the opportunities, and resources are minimal. We have to use them optimally, and then create something. Entrepreneurship is all about creation. That was for informal education from Professor Sahasrabudhe to me at least. Using constrained resources, generate something, create something. And what he could generate for us was obvious. All tangible outcomes, you name them, and you are present in his tenure. You name them. And COEP was an orthodox institute, I believe. I was here from 1888. It was an orthodox conventional institute. Believe me, Puneri Institute. He changed the face of this Puneri Institute. He made it completely novel institute. Certainly. It was an orthodox, he made it novel, altogether novel. Innovation goes with entrepreneurship. Leadership goes with entrepreneurship. So it is all synonymous. It was all let's say, sides say of the same coin. That was his informal education to all of us. He was naturally instrumental in architecting, establishing all practices and systems in autonomy. So COEP, as an autonomous institute, was shaped up by him. We were blessed to have him from 2009 to 2006 to 2015, 9 long years. Okay, and all those systems and practices he said were reformative, transformative, unheard of, really. I still remember, sir, in the Senate of COEP, in the very same hall, he used to take sessions on relative grading, shouting with energy, full of energy, relative grading. स्वतः सर शिकवायचे ते मोठ्या मोठ्याने रिलेटिव्ह ग्रेडिंग म्हणजे काय. सो आय स्टील रिमेंबर अँड रिजॉईस इट. That was the kind of education he gave him to all of us rather. So all faculty colleagues and this COEP, autonomous COEP, owed everything to him. So all those, and as Professor Biradar was mentioning, he changed this teacher-centric institute to student-centric institute. That was a paradigm change, paradigm shift rather. Now COEP happens to be student-centric institution. I attach the word, say it's a teacher-driven institution. I don't like teachers to be driven by students, therefore, okay, but still remains a student-centric institution, and therefore name a festive, let's say, vehicle competition. You are there. COEP is numero uno in all vehicle competitions. In his tenure, we could really make that Pico satellite to fly. And on our groups are internal, in 10th standard board examination, there was a question on first satellite of student satellite of India. We are all simply honored that COEP students can make wonders, but the energy behind those wonders was Professor Sahasrabudhe, and therefore we are his just footstep followers. That's all. Even if we do that, तर आमचं सगळं भरून पावतं असं मला वाटत राहतं. He taught us how to aspire, to elevate the institute to which level? Next level. The dream has come true that his great institute has now become university is all because of seeds sown by Sahasrabudhe sir in autonomous COEP. So with his blessings, with his cooperation, with his help, with his support, which is ever, we take it for granted. COEP today is a university, the deserving institute most in the country, which deserved this status a centenary ago, but kept on missing buses hell number of times. It has now become university. Yesterday we got a letter, day before, 2 days ago. And the letter was UGC recognizing this institute as a university, state public university. It's again, we need push of Professor Sahasrabudhe. So it is unconditional love of him for this great institute. Institute is blessed and we all are blessed in turn. Finally, leadership is all about empowerment. Rather, leadership is synonymous with empowerment. Is it not? That's the way he taught us, not taught, he educated us. That leadership means empowerment. And what a coincidence that the center has empowering word in its title. It's Youth Empowering Center. And the talk also happens to be leadership in youth, that is synonymous to life. And therefore, who else than Professor Sahasrabudhe can authoritatively talk on leadership, because leadership is empowerment. Thank you very much, Professor Biradar and Sakshi, for making me sitting beside Professor Sahasrabudhe. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now let's move forward to that moment which we all are eagerly waiting for. A special talk by our today's chief guest, Dr. Anil Sahasrabudhe, sir. Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe sir is an Indian academician and currently serving as the chairperson of National Educational Technology Forum. He was also the former chairman of All India Council for Technical Education, AICTE. He has extensive experience in the field of education and leadership, having served as the director of our prestigious College of Engineering, Pune, and faculty member of Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati. He is truly a multifaceted personality. Dr. Sahasrabudhe sir has also been actively involved in various academic and professional bodies, both in India and abroad, and has received numerous awards and honors for his contribution to education and research. I would like to call upon Sahasrabudhe sir to share his thoughts on our today's topic, leadership in youth is life.
Sarvanna Namaskar. Very good morning to all of you. Professor Mukul Suthavne, Vice Chancellor of COEP Technological University, a baby university but a very old institution with more than 165 years of standing, which I was very lucky to be associated for 9 long years. Professor Biradar, who is my good friend, as he said, we used to have a lot of fights in the hostel as well as in the institution for the betterment of the institution. And he gave me a call yesterday that if you are coming to Pune, why don't you spend some time? I said, whole morning I'm free, I'm coming. So immediately I was very happy because it is like homecoming. If you are very much associated with an organization and if you get an opportunity, you don't leave it. And that's why I am lucky that I got an opportunity to come here and share some of the thoughts of mine. Professor Khond, again from Mechanical Engineering Department, we used to have meetings, again fight is always the constant thing, And you remember that, Khon, why are you doing like this? And then he will argue, counter-argue, and then all that. They were all on the dais, and I don't know why did they shift their seats into the audience, but anyway. Then we have Professor Rathod, Professor Mali, Professor, Bhalchandra, who is Chaudhary, a part of the life of COAP, right from when I joined, and even after I left this institute, he was here. He has moved on to Mumbai as a principal of one of the institutions. But whenever there is an opportunity, he also keeps coming back. There are many innovations which he did during that time. We worked together. I was very excited about all that he was doing. Professor Sonavane, now occupying the position of registrar, but a professor of instrumentation and control engineering. Again, we used to have a lot of debates and discussion in the department. We have Bhattu, who was my PhD student also here, who happens to be in mechanical engineering. Professor Meshram, Professor Rawat, Professor Dhoke, Professor Shendge, and here two wonderful ladies, who have been associated with institute in different ways. I remember many clubs and whatever Sutavane said was institution. They always had a role to play into that. Therefore, you who are here, you must of these wonderful faculty members who are in this institution, and all of you students, you must feel lucky that you have come to an institution which is par excellence. I will go into some of the statuses of institutions, be it IITs or be it NITs. Many of you might have written your JEE exam and then may have a very poor rank and therefore did not get a good institution. Some of you did not qualify through JEE and therefore you probably thought CET may say College of Engineering Pune mein aayenge. But I will tell you, if you had gone to IIT, you would not have enjoyed the kind of life that you are enjoying in College of Engineering Pune. I rate this far superior in different ways. Maybe their rating, ranking, etc. is much higher, but the kind of life that you get and the very fact that you are now starting Youth Empowering Center, a very noble idea where you will have meditation, you will have peace of mind, and at the same time, very strong academics, both are wedded with each other, and large number of activities. Now, when I was here, it was 32 or 33 clubs. Now, Birazdar said 52. So that means in the last 9 years, another 20 odd clubs are added to that. And today one more, which is called Center, has been also added. So I think this number will go on. And very soon it will reach a century. We all in cricket want to score a century. We have already crossed half century and moving in the direction of scoring a century in this direction. And this journey will always go on. This institute of 165 years plus standing naturally will have many more feathers in the cap which will come in. But one thing which I felt was when Birazdar and both Sutavane continued to speak so much on leadership, I thought leadership you have already told. There is nothing that I should be able to tell about that. And मला एवढंच अडवून ठेवलं वेदर तुमच्या अपेक्षेप्रमाणे मी येऊ शकतो का मला स्वतःवरती जरा संशय यायला लागला इतकं तुम्ही जास्ती वर चढवून सांगितलं हे केलं ते केलं हे सगळं करण्यासाठी एक व्यक्ती करू शकत नाही ह्याच्यासाठी टीम वर्क लागते it is an entire team of faculty of the institution, students, they all contributed. And as this particular today's Youth Empowering Center also has come at a very short notice, Sakshi went to Professor Birazdar, Birazdar went to Professor Sutavane, and instantaneously it happened. And the same culture we started way back when I joined here in the year 2006. Students used to come with some idea, and much before that, I have heard from some of the very old eminent alumni like Vijay Kelkar. Vijay Kelkar was chairman of the Finance Commission of India, also very well-known person in finance, although he's a mechanical engineer by, electrical engineer by graduation. He used to tell that we used to be afraid of going on to the first floor where the principal's chamber used to be there. because terror was there always. And in your time, he came and said, how are they so free and they're entering into your room without even asking the clerk who is sitting outside about getting in? And that change really happened because students had that something in the mind, creativity. Young students have out of the box thinking, which elderly people like us even don't think about it. And when such ideas crop up and they want to discuss, we should keep our doors open. That is the first sign of leadership. So often I say, we all talk about employability of graduates. Employability only will come when students have good communication skills. This is one of the things which often industry talks about. Communication skills is important. You may have knowledge, but if you are not able to express, the other side will not know your strengths and therefore you may not get selected. Therefore, we often say that communication skills is important. So many people talk about two types of communication skills. One of them is the oral communication skills, like I'm speaking now, which is very difficult. Many of us feel very, difficulty when we come to the stage. Where 100 people are sitting, how do we speak? That is one type of communication skill which many students face difficulty in speaking in public. Forget about others, I was one such man. Till I became a faculty member, I was not able to stand before 60 people, not at all. Even in front of 5-6 people, I used to have difficulty in speaking out. From there, I started my journey is different thing, but important part is, one is communication skills in terms of oral communication. The other communication skill is the written communication skill. We write our examination papers, we write our thesis, we write our project reports. Some of you who would like to get funding from the agencies will have to write project proposals. So there is a different types of writing. Some people will write books. All of this is written type of communication skills so that you reach out to the stakeholders, you reach out to the people. These are two very clearly known communication skills. But the other type of communication skills which we normally don't speak about, I have been speaking in many platforms. The third one is reading skills. Now, communication is always two-way, and therefore, what is written in a document or a book, which is voluminous, maybe 300 pages, 400 pages, if you have to read, you will spend at least about 8 days' time. But there are meetings when the board of governors meetings or board of directors meetings in the companies, massive agenda papers, which runs into about 300 pages, is sent not even 3 days before the meeting. And you have to go and deliberate on that subject inside the meeting. So naturally, you have to read all of that. So you can't spend your sleepless nights and you have your own work. And therefore, how quickly you can go through that particular document of 300 pages within 2 hours, grasp the content of that, and will be able to positively contribute in the meeting. That is a communication reverse skill. Getting it from out of the book into you is a communication from a written material to you. So this is the third one. But the most dangerous one and the fourth one is the listening skills. And I often say that as you go up in the hierarchy, from being a student also, I know in a class of 50, 60 students, if the faculty member is giving a lecture, and if it is only one-way lecture, that is no interaction is there, I'm sure students will start giggling, they will start getting into their mobile phones, especially those who are in the front bench, probably unfortunate people, but those who are in the third bench onwards, they can easily open up their mobile phone and look at their WhatsApp, the Facebook page, the Twitter, the Instagram, and then they do their own activity, and what is happening in the class, they are least bothered because there is no interest in that class. The faculty is not creating that interest. And therefore, when the attention span of the students is getting lesser and lesser, it's often said that it is reducing from 50 minutes during our time when we used to attentively attend the classes for 55 minutes, 60 minutes, to recent generation. We have been talking about different generations in the social parlance. Generation Gen X, then Gen Y, then Gen Z came. Now today Gen Alpha is there. Beta, Gamma will also come sometime later. And when such generations keep coming up, the attention span reduces from 60 to 50 to 40 to 30, and they say today it is 6 to 8 minutes. If I'm giving a lecture for more than 6 to 8 minutes, some will sleep, some will open their WhatsApp and all of that. And therefore, we have to be very careful. So the listening ability of the students is less. They are supposed to listen to the classes when the lecture is going on, understand, ask questions, and go ahead. That is reduced. Same is the case with other people, faculty. Faculty don't listen to the questions asked by the students. The HODs don't listen to the faculty members about their issues. Then when it comes to director or vice chancellor, they don't listen to the HODs and the deans. And when it comes to, when I was the chairman of AICT, I used to say that chairman AICT will not listen to the principals and vice chancellors of the universities and colleges in the country. So this listening capability has reduced. We often find that if someone comes to say something, before he has completed even 2 sentences about what one wants to say, we say, मला माहिती आहे तू काय सांगणार आहेस, ह्याचं उत्तर हे आहे म्हणून सांगतो. म्हणजे तेवढं आपल्याला दुसऱ्यांचं ऐकण्याची सवय हळूहळू कमी होत चालली. म्हणून the fourth communication skill, the listening skills is very, very important. And one of my prominent principles was, anyone, whoever comes, please listen to him. Maybe it is outrightly bogus, not worthy of taking it forward. But what is wrong in listening 5 minutes? So give opportunity. And that is how, from about 10, 12, 15 clubs that existed in College of Engineering, Pune, we went to 32. And the culture, it seems, continuing. And therefore, 32 has become 52. There are 52 cards in the pack of cards in the car. So I think we have crossed that, it's good. Because otherwise, we will be playing only cards. So we are going ahead, moving ahead, and having now reaching to the 100 very soon. That is the philosophy. Some interesting things which happened, I would like to reflect, then you understand why listening is important. Number one, it is an engineering college. That time it was still not a university affiliated to Pune University. Some fine day, some student comes and says that I want to start a history club. Now, many people will raise their hair and say that what is this to do with a College of Engineering Pune? It's an engineering institute. You can talk about robotics club. You can talk about astronomy club. That's fine. But what is this history to do with engineering? And therefore, some principal would have simply rejected this kind of an idea. But I said, why do you want to do it? What is the purpose of that? Then when I ask some questions, they do give some answers, and based on that, there is a spirit behind why do we need to learn history in the first place. And that is what is missing in our country. We all know that since about 200 odd years, Macaulay started in 1835, a system of education which only taught English, and our all languages almost started dying down, and our ancient wisdom also started dying down. I think this is the place where we want to have a history where we understand our own ancient heritage, culture. We should know it. I was listening to COEP Geet. Very important 2 aspects which touch anyone's heart is about, first thing is our culture, our traditions. It talks about traditions have to be respected and continued. परंपरांना महत्त्व दिलेलं, परंपरेचा अभिमान असला पाहिजे, ह्याच्यात आहे. दुसरी गोष्ट, मानवाला मानवाशी जुडून कसं आपण पुढे गेलं पाहिजे. We today talk many times about inclusive education. We have to take the entire society together. But that spirit will come when the song which is sung every day as a COEP Geet will tell you that the other human being also is to be respected. If you want respect, you respect the other gentleman also. You may have arguments, you may have वाद विवाद संवाद सब होना चाहिए. So उसके साथ साथ जब करेंगे तभी हम आगे बढ़ सकते हैं. So therefore this communication part, the listening part is very, very important. But when students came and started that history club, it prospered. And I used to attend almost all such talks which are arranged by the students in the evening. It used to be after 5 o'clock in the hall near the main building. Adjacent to that, there is a similar hall. Now what is it called? I don't know what is it used for. But that hall used to be having every day some program or the other. And I used to sit in the front bench like these people and listen to them. And what a wonderful way of bringing out various values, various types of talks on different aspects. शिवाजी महाराजांच्या बद्दल कधी असेल तर कधी राणा प्रतापच्या बद्दल असेल. History was being deliberated and told by not one great historians and experts, but our own students. They used to study for 1 month on that topic, come and deliver. डॉक्टर आंबेडकरांच्या बद्दल, महात्मा गांधींच्या बद्दल, असे सगळ्या गोष्टी तिथं रोज व्हायच्या आणि त्यामुळे होलिस्टिक डेव्हलपमेंट ऑफ ए ह्युमन बिईंग वॉज पॉसिबल. दॅट इज द स्टार्टिंग पॉईंट. देन वन डे अनदर फेलो केम and he said, sir, we want to start a philosophy club. And then I said, if और भी history से भी जरा बाहर का है. At this young age, most of the people think that spiritualism, philosophy, it is either for those who are pursuing that subject as a degree program, or it is for those people who are near retirement. ये फिलॉसफी वगैरह क्या है, तो 60 साल 70 साल के बाद सीखने की बात है, ऐसे सोचने वाले लोग होते हैं. तो ऐसे में यूथ of 18, 20, 21 want to deliberate on that. What an exciting thing it was. And I said, okay, go ahead. And there was a club which was called as a philosophy club, which all started operating. We had many technical clubs, no doubt, scientific clubs, mathematics club, they are all fine. Each one of them came with some idea, and then that idea was supported, and that is how many things started happening. And that is the same story about satellite. You imagine a student, Mr. Baviskar, who was a student of first year of civil engineering. He had gone to IIT Bombay for internship. The reason is also simple. He also attempted JEE, could not get through JEE, did not concentrate on CET, therefore did not even get computer science in COEP, got civil engineering. Many of them feel that civil engineering, metallurgy, production engineering are lower, but nothing is lower. Please remember, each one of those subjects have their value. They are having different value, and people just fog and go behind either computer science or electronics. Okay, they are good. There is a lot of job prospects, but nothing should be belittled. Each one has its own significance and importance. And if you don't have civil engineering, how does this building get constructed? Where do computer centers, computers come in? If there are no mechanical engineers, where will the air conditioning system come in? So I think each one of them have their own value. We should respect them. So that civil engineering student went to IIT Bombay because he had civil engineering here. He went and did an internship. And he learned that IIT Bombay were trying for developing a satellite which would be later launched by what we know as the ISRO. So he said that, wo kar rahe hai. He came to my chamber and said that we also want to do it. We would like to develop. But I asked him, do you know the complexity that is involved in the development of satellite? हाँ सर, सब मालूम है. मालूम है. First year guy of civil engineering, not from electronics, not from mechanical computer, which are more significant components in the satellite. But he was confident. I said, okay, ठीक है. लेकिन इसमें दो problems है, मैंने कहा. You solve the problem, then we will start. What is the problem? These are multidisciplinary type of projects. You require input from mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, electronics engineering, computer, metallurgy, production, vibration, testing, all of that. So you are from civil engineering, you get a team of people from all these disciplines. Second, you are in the first year. You may get your classmates, they have not still studied those subjects. You must get students from second, third, and fourth year also, because they are the ones who know about this subject. So you collect team of people who will be from third year, fourth year, who understand this topic, and also from all disciplines, and bring. Not easy job for a first year student. Please remember, सब second year, third year वाले first year को क्या करते हैं? Ragging करते हैं. तो इसको अभी first year वाले को जाके second, third year वालों को convince करके लाने का जवाबदारी, जिम्मेदारी दी थी, तो बहुत difficult task था. Not an easy task. But in the next 10 days, he got a team of 15 people ranging from second to fourth year students of all disciplines, said we are all willing to do it, sir. So that is the first leadership quality which I saw in Abhishek Baviskar. Abhishek was doing it. The second part I raised then, I said there is a funding required. हमारा तो government college है, ऐसे आसानी से पैसा नहीं होगा. उसके पहले दो institutes ने satellite already launch कर चुके थे. एक है अन्ना यूनिवर्सिटी का कैंपस का, and 5-6 universities together, and IIT Kanpur was also in the process. तो I said it requires lot of funding, and हमारे पास तो इतना fund नहीं है, कहाँ से fund लाएंगे? We could have managed some fund, but I just wanted to check how financial issues are handled by the students. So I told him, Then what he did, he said, we have already contacted Naval Officers Wives Association. We all know that 9/11 and all that Mumbai attack, all of that had happened, and the terrorists had come from the sea route, and had our fishermen who are in the seas in the small boats, if they had observed some movement of some unknown ships coming towards Mumbai, they would have communicated, and police and army etc. would have been activated. तो हमारा लॉन्च रेंज ऑफ जो सैटेलाइट का होता है वो वहाँ नहीं पहुँचता है. अवर मोबाइल फोन्स डू नॉट वर्क देयर. सो व्हाई कांट हैव a radio communication between some deep sea and the coast? If that was there, we would have probably solved, and therefore we contacted Naval Officers Wives Association, and they are willing to support some funding. I said, then you have done that part also. Abhi kaam chalu karo. So then they started, and as you know, two important things happened. The two satellites which were launched from Anna University and subsequently even by Kanpur IIT, ISRO had found that although they have flown the satellites, they each of them had spent more than 50 lakh, 80 lakh rupees for this satellite development. The satellites were not traced, tracked, and therefore the data available from that was not used at all. So ISRO in a way was unhappy about student satellite projects. ये तो करते हैं और भाग जाते हैं, कुछ होता नहीं है, पैसा बर्बाद होता है, हमारा भी टाइम बर्बाद होता है, तो हम इसको सपोर्ट नहीं करेंगे. Sort of negativity had developed in the minds of the ISRO. But overall, there was a practice that we must support such activities. So they used to hold student conferences for satellite development. So one such conference was held in Bangalore. Our students, who were a team of now 30, 40, they all traveled along with them. I traveled. We went there. We showcased what we are doing. Then they were little half-hearted. तो थोड़ा तो कुछ हो रहा है करके लगा उनको. उसके तुरंत बाद on the top floor of the metallurgy, that is terrace of metallurgy, we built a small room, and the satellite tracking center was established there, and our students were able to track the Jugnu satellite of the Kanpur IIT and the Anna satellite, Anna sat of the Anna University. They were tracing and collected the data and sent to ISRO. So they were surprised. जिन्होंने सैटेलाइट को लॉन्च किया, जिनके कॉलेज ने, यूनिवर्सिटी ने, वो लोग उसके बारे में कोई सोच नहीं रहे, दूसरे इंस्टीट्यूट के पास ये कैसे आ रहा है. तो उन्होंने फिर इंटरेस्ट दिखाया, हमने उनको बुलाया, दिखाया. Then they said, this is the institute, this is the right institute where we can do it. And subsequently, they invited our students team to give a detailed, entire project report about the satellite. And our students, full day, they gave seminars, and experts, those who were later associated with Mars mission, those who were associated with landing on this moon mission, all of them were possibly there, and they were sitting and listening to our students, asking questions, and like expert of 15 years experience, they were giving the answers to that. And इतना ही नहीं है, वापस आने के बाद वो जो डिस्कशन हुआ उसके मिनट्स बना के इन्होंने वापस भेजे. तो इसरो डायरेक्टर रोट टू मी, इवन आफ्टर द मीटिंग्स हमारे लोग मिनट्स बनाने में काफ़ी टाइम लगाते हैं और जल्दी होता ही नहीं है. आपके स्टूडेंट ने तो 2 दिन में उसके मिनट्स बना के भेज दिए. आई थिंक दिस मॉडल वी हैव टू यूज फ्रॉम यू. आई हैव नेवर सीन एन इंस्टीट्यूशन ऑफ दिस काइंड. एंड देन द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट पार्ट इन दिस इंस्टीट्यूशन फॉर लॉन्ग टाइम, नाउ मोर देन 88 years, boat club, and the regatta, 88, 89 हो गया अभी, 90 हो गया, 95th हो गया, क्योंकि मैं जब गया तभी का मैं अभी भी काउंट रख रहा हूँ, तो 95 हो गया. तो this particular aspect of boat club, where the baton is transformed from one batch of students to other, that spirit I have not seen in any institution in the country. I learned lessons from out of this students' exercise. The pass out students who are graduates 2 years, 3 years, who have been working, they come last 8 days, train to the final finish in such a manner that when the two boats are approaching each other, and for a viewer it appears that they are going to now hit hard and they will all get tumbled down, the boats again move in a different direction. What an accuracy, what a precision that our students do. And this is trained by previous batch of students to the new batch of students, and that's how in the first year all of those activities happen. And this culture has continued in the sports arena, in all those 52 odd clubs, same with the satellite club, and therefore even though ISRO was not willing to take COEP on board, from one batch to the other batch, Abhishek Bhaviskar went away after his 4 years of engineering, went to if I remember, Purdue University. He did his masters. He continued his PhD. तभी भी हमारा सैटेलाइट उड़ा नहीं था, क्योंकि एक बैच से दूसरे बैच को ट्रेनिंग चल रहा था. But finally, when the day came, they were all excited, and the entire ISRO today also says, if there is any institution where the training of students for satellite is to be done, it is COIP. That is the way it has been. And that leadership quality comes from students, which is learned by me. Part of the learning of mine is from the elderly people with whom I worked myself, whether it is Dr. F.C. Kohli, who was the chairman of the Board of Governors, or my previous directors in IIT Guwahati, or in NERIST, or my professor and guide with whom I did my master's and PhD, or to my teacher in the school, primary school. एक मॅडम होत्या पाई म्हणून, त्यांनी जे शिकवलेलं आजही मला आठवतं. म्हणजे द लिडरशिप कम्स फ्रॉम राईट फ्रॉम द स्कूल डेज टू द हायेस्ट एज्युकेशन अँड ऑल्सो वाईल इन जॉब. सो दॅट लर्निंग हॅज टू बी ए कंटिन्युअस प्रोसेस. मुझे सब आता है, मला आता सगळं येते म्हटलं की गेला तुम्ही. That is the last day of your life of education. I think education is a non-stop continuing process, whether it is for leadership, for anyone else. And that same quality I see in our Prime Minister. Maybe some things might have failed, something might have succeeded immensely. Anyone who writes, and if he gets an idea, he gives earlier 10 minutes and then listens to them for 1 hour, 2 hours. That listening skills, which I said, is very important, and based on that, many activities are performed, and many of them succeed, some of them do not succeed. And unless, as a leader, you don't take risks, then you are nowhere. So everything safe चाहिए बोलने से कुछ नहीं होता है. So there are certain issues where probably we may not succeed as much, somewhere we may completely fail, but give respect to failures. And that spirit has to be also imbibed in our teachers, in our heads of the department and students. And only then, Professor Sutavane, the entrepreneurship program where you were sent for training in IIM Bangalore for many times was to understand that. हमारे क्लास में एक इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स का सर्किट डिज़ाइन वगैरह कर दिया, एक ने किया एक ने नहीं किया, तो उसको फेल हो गया. तो उसको तुम खराब हो, बेकार हो बोलने से वो और बेकार हो जाता है. उसको ये सपोर्ट करना है कि तुम्हारी थोड़ी गलती हुई, थोड़ा सुधार और ऐसे करते जाएंगे तो they will become better. I know Professor Birazdar is smiling because he is very tough guy. All those who do structural engineering, any of the projects with him, not easy to get marks from out of him. But in any case, he trains them well. He makes them understand the nuances of how structural design has to be done. These are all leadership qualities. You have different facets. But most important facet is listening, which I am repeating many times because that is important. If you listen, you will have some answer to that. Sometimes you may reject it outright, saying that ye ho nahi sakta hai. He will also struggle and get some better solution and then come back. Ye challenge hai. Whenever you throw challenge, only then you will get some outcome out of that. So give challenge to your students in terms of whether it is project work, whether it is internship, whether it is doing some problem solving. And that is where whatever I learned from out of this college, from the students, from the faculty, made me whatever little I am. And therefore, when I went to All India Council for Technical Education as the chairman, almost all my learnings from COEP were implemented. I'm telling you, my whole learning was from here. This is my school. This is my college from where I learned. I was prior to that in a better institute called IIT Guwahati. But what I learned from there was much less compared to what I learned from College of Engineering, Pune. And that spirit I carried forward. So whether it is the program called Margadarshan program, where those who are already doing well, they have to support other institutions. We should certainly compete with each other. All educational institutions compete to become better ranked institutions. But how do we collaborate? How do we cooperate? How do we help each other? How we can pull up everyone up rather than pulling someone down. That Indians have a great philosophy of pulling down others, and somehow, तो उससे अच्छा है वो frogs होते हैं ना well में, वो एक ऊपर चढ़ रहा है तो दूसरा उसको खींच के निकालते हैं, तो बाहर जाने ही नहीं देता। ऐसे हमारे देश में बहुत लोग होते हैं, लेकिन उससे बाहर जाकर हम कब तक इसको आगे बढ़ाते हुए, फ्रॉग इन द वेल इज ऑल्सो कूप मंडुकता, कूप मंडुकता से भी बाहर जाना है, और फ्रॉग्स शुड नॉट पुल ईच अदर। इफ वी डू दैट, India is the most innovative nation in the whole world, and that is gradually getting proved by several activities we initiated in AICT. For example, Smart India Hackathons. You know, AICT, this college was also a center for that. More than about 1.5 lakh students giving ideas for solving the problems of the country, of the departments of the government, of the industry, of the startups, as to how we can solve that problem, which even some of the most experienced guys have not thought of, because they are all going by their normal learning, teaching, whatever happened in their college, they are going in the same track. Out of the track, things come from young students. And that's why those ideas, some of them will fail, as I said, but give an opportunity to solve, and if they solve, there is an innovation which will take you to places. And that's what happened through the Smart India Hackathon. Many of the applications which were found by students during those parts, either for cyber security or taking care of the health of the people, agriculture, be it the education, transportation sector, railways, Ayush and the health ministry, all of them have adopted solutions which came from 36 hours of the hackathon. Of course, they were not perfect solution, but it was an indicative solution. Further support by the corresponding government department provided them to go ahead and then in a position to really take them to the places where it is required. You know, it is solving the problem of the society. And this is one area which was very, very important. The last and most important part is the student induction program. Today's function of Yuva or the Youth Empowerment Center has direct correlation with what we call student induction program. This is very significant because this I had noticed here. I learned lessons from IIIT Hyderabad and IIT Hyderabad, two of them who were following certain practices of student induction. Otherwise, in the rest of the country, students come on the day one along with their parents in a big auditorium. There is a program of welcoming the fresh students. Their parents are also sitting. And then director or now the vice chancellor will speak, then deans will speak, HODs will speak, everyone 5 minutes. Some dean of academics or controller of examination will talk about grading system, CGPA. वो 10th 12th तक तो ये सब होता नहीं है. अचानक एक दिन में 2-3 घंटे में ऐसा बड़ी मार हो जाता है कि स्टूडेंट को कंफ्यूज हो जाता है कि कहाँ आ गया मैं. और दूसरे दिन से क्लासेस चालू. So they have no time for absorbing into the system. And this is what was found to be very, very bad, because some of them, जे मराठी मीडियममधून आलेत, हिंदी मीडियममधून आलेत, कानडी मीडियममधून 10वी-12वी केलंय, तेलुगू मीडियममध्ये केलंय, अशा विद्यार्थ्यांना अचानक जेव्हा कॉलेजमध्ये येतात आणि सगळं इंग्रजीमध्ये चालू होतं, त्यांना बावरल्यासारखं होतं, कुठे आलो. आणि काही जण छोट्या गावातनं आले असतात, ट्रायबल एरियामधनं, एका छोट्या खेड्यातनं आलेले असतात, आणि त्यांना एकदम अचानक पुण्यामध्ये मोठमोठ्या बिल्डिंग, ट्रॅफिक असं बघितलं की आधीच बावरून गेले असतात, आणि क्लासमध्ये सगळं इंग्रजीमध्ये भडीमार पण सुरू होतो. मग ते आता मला काय समजत नाही, त्याला मात्र समजतंय, तो इंग्लिश मिडियममधून आलेला आहे, त्याला सगळं समजतंय आणि मला समजत नाही. मग त्यांच्या सायकोलॉजीवर पण परिणाम होऊ शकतो. आणि म्हणून ते मित्र म्हणून, मॅडम कुठे गेला, हां शी लेफ्ट, बट उन्होंने स्टार्ट किया मित्र करके. तो काउन्सिलिंग इज इम्पॉर्टंट. तो अशा मुलांना जेव्हा आपल्याला ह्या विद्यार्थ्यांना आल्यावर लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड तयार करण्यासाठी हे स्टुडंट इंडक्शन प्रोग्राम और दिस यूथ एम्पॉवरिंग सेंटर विल प्ले अ बिग रोल. कारण एकमेकांची मदत लागते. काही जण इंग्रजीमध्ये छान बोलू शकतील, त्यांना समजत असेल, पण त्यांना अनेक गोष्टी हाताने काम करायच्या माहीत नाहीत. कारण गावामध्ये जे राहतात, शेतामध्ये काम करतात, त्यांना हाताने काम करायची सवय असते. सिटीमधल्या मुलांना जे मुंबई, पुणे अशा ठिकाणाहून येतात, त्यांना बटाटे खाल्लं येतात का झाडावरती लागतात हे सुद्धा माहिती असत नाही. हां, काही जण म्हणतात ते तर बटाटे कुठे मिळतात, म्हणजे डिपार्टमेंट स्टोअरमध्ये मिळतात. काही जणांना माहिती आहे इट इज ए प्लांट, त्यांना वाटतं ते फळासारखं झाडावरती येतं म्हणून, ते जमिनीच्या खालनं येतं म्हणून माहिती असत नाही. अशा काही विद्यार्थी पण असतात. आणि एका ठिकाणी हाताने काम केलेले, शेतात काम केलेले विद्यार्थी पण असतात. मग काही जणांना प्रॅक्टिकल आस्पेक्टमध्ये उत्कृष्ट असतात, तर काही जण इंग्रजीमध्ये किंवा कोणी गणितामध्ये उत्कृष्ट असतो. आणि गणिताचा एक मोठा विषय आहे, कारण गणित असा विषय आहे की सगळ्यांना एक भीतीदायक असतो. म्हणजे पहिल्यांदा 7वी 8वीमध्ये पण काही जणांना भीती वाटून ते सायन्सला येतच नाहीत. तिथून किती दूर पळून जाऊ शकतो त्याचाच विचार करत असतात. आणि काही जण 10वी 12वी पर्यंत बोल्डली त्याला फेस करून 90% मार्क मिळवून येतात. पण इथं इंजिनिअरिंगमधल्या फर्स्ट M1मध्ये अचानक डुलकीच होती त्यांची. त्याच्यामध्ये काय कारण आहे, हे सगळं ह्याच्या पाठीमागे त्यांची कॉन्फिडन्स लेवल सडनली डाऊन होते, त्याच्यामुळे होत असतं. आणि मला कित्येक आमच्या COEPमध्ये होते विद्यार्थी, त्यांचे ते बॅकलॉग असतं ना, AT KT वगैरे, ते चालत चालत पुढे गेले, सगळे पास झाले, M2 M3 पण पास झाले, इंजिनिअरिंगचे सगळे सब्जेक्ट पास झाले, 4th इयर संपला, पण M1 अजूनही राहिलाच आहे. त्याला बिचाऱ्याला डिग्रीज देता येत नाही, अशी परिस्थिती पण काही जणांची झालेली असते. त्यांना मग समूह काहीतरी करून त्यांच्या मागे लागून त्यांना अशी एक भीती निर्माण झाली असते. ती भीती असू नये म्हणून दिस स्टुडंट इंडक्शन प्रोग्राम इज अ व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट प्रोग्राम. त्याच्यामध्ये एकमेकांनी सहाय्य करायला पाहिजे. आपण एकमेकांना दोस्तीने वागलं पाहिजे. कुणाला मजाक करून त्याचा इन्सल्ट केल्याने तुम्हाला काही मिळत नाही. उलट तुम्हाला कधी ना कधी त्याचं दुःख होणार. त्या दिवशी तुम्हाला मजा येऊन हसला असाल, पण कधी ना कधी तुम्हाला नंतर वाटेल की मी त्या माझ्या मित्राला असं इन्सल्ट केलेला होता, हे मी चूक केली होती म्हणून. पण ते देन द टाइम इज लॉस्ट ॲक्च्युली. सम ऑफ देम आय हॅव सीन इन IITs, दे कमिट सुसाईड बिकॉज ऑफ दिस, because they are insulted because of some small things. How you can develop that cordial relationship between student to student? And therefore this empowering center is absolutely in a way spiritual. Each one has that spirit in him or her. म्हणजे आपण नेहमी आमच्या फिलॉसॉफीमध्ये म्हणतो की बॉडी मीन्स शरीर, देन बुद्धी इंटेलेक्ट, मन तर विचलित करतच असतं, आणि देन आत्मा. हे 4 जे आहेत हे कुठल्याही फिलॉसॉफीमध्ये नाही आहेत. हायेस्ट फिलॉसॉफी इज दॅट फ्रॉम इंडिया. आणि आम्ही 4हींना महत्त्व देतो. बॉडीला महत्त्व आहे, आपले बॉडी फिट असली पाहिजे, आरोग्य असलं पाहिजे, म्हणून आपण मैदानात जातो, खेळ खेळतो, एक्सरसाइज करतो, दॅट इज रिक्वायर्ड. त्याचप्रमाणे बुद्धीला चालना मिळण्यासाठी आपण पुस्तकं वाचतो, वेगवेगळ्या गोष्टी ऐकतो, त्याच्यातनं बुद्धी निर्माण होते, बुद्धीला होते. मनाला कंट्रोल करण्यासाठी मेडिटेशन आहे. तसे हे सगळे करवत आहेत मॅडम, आता सगळ्यांना करवणार आहेत. ती स्टुडंट आहे पण तिला मी मॅडमच म्हणतोय, कारण ती सगळ्यांना बरोबर, जर डायरेक्टर आणि व्हाईस चान्सलरना बसवून करवते तर ती कुणालाही करवू शकते, ही कॉन्फिडन्स आहे मला. तर शी इज ऑल्सो ए लीडर इन हर ओन राईट. तर पण सर्वात उत्कृष्ट जे आहे ते आपल्या 7 चक्र आणि आत्मा ह्याच्याबद्दल समजून घेणं. लोक ह्याला हास्यावर ओरडत होते, हे सगळं काय असतं काय, सगळं खोटारडं आहे म्हणून. आज विज्ञान त्याला प्रूव्ह करायसाठी प्रयत्न करत आहे. अमेरिकन युनिव्हर्सिटीज, जर्मन युनिव्हर्सिटीज आर वर्किंग ऑन कॉन्शियसनेस, हाऊ why does life come and why does life go? That is a very $1 million question. मशीनसारखं तर ते आपलं हार्ट चालू आहे, लंग्स चालू आहेत, सगळं ठीक आहे, पण अचानक एक दिवस ते गायब कसा होतो तो दिस इज अ बिग स्कूल ऑफ थॉट विच इज हॅपनिंग. अँड देन आमच्याकडे जे अलग अलग फिलॉसॉफीमध्ये आपण सांगतो त्याप्रमाणे हायझनबर्ग प्रिन्सिपल, अनसर्टन्टी, देर इज नो सर्टन्टी ॲट ऑल, देर इज अ प्रोबॅबिलिटी असोसिएटेड विथ दॅट. सो आय थिंक ऑल ऑफ दिस विच our scriptures have narrated in different ways are also important. त्यासाठी पहिल्या 2-3 आठवड्यामध्ये तुम्हाला त्या सगळ्या विषयांबद्दल माहिती, आपल्या देशाबद्दल, आपल्या प्राचीनतेबद्दल आपल्याला अभिमान व्हायला पाहिजे त्याच्यामध्ये असेल. त्याचप्रमाणे फक्त अभिमान स्वाभिमान होऊन चालणार नाही, त्याचा उपयोग आजच्या दिवशी कसा होतो हे विचार करणं आवश्यक आहे. हाऊ इट इज रेलेव्हंट टू टुडे, how making use of that knowledge I can do something which is going to be useful to society, how can the life of the people can further enhance, improve. हा विचार करण्यासाठी सगळ्यांना प्रवृत्त करून सायंटिफिक बेंट ऑफ माइंड ह्यांच्यामध्ये आणण्याची भयंकर गरज आहे, आणि म्हणून हा प्रोग्राम चालू असतो. त्याच्याबरोबरच शिक्षकांना तयार करणे गरजेचं आहे, कारण नवीन नवीन सब्जेक्ट येत आहेत. आज आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजन्स, मशीन लर्निंग, डीप लर्निंग हे विषय इतके डीप झालेले आहेत. वी ऑल नो अबाउट चॅट जीपीटी नंतर आता GPT-4 आलं, GPT-5-6 येईल. वी हॅव गॉट 3G 4G पासून 5G आला. 5G आपल्या देशामध्ये इंडिपेंडेंटली IIT मद्रास, IIT बॉम्बे, IIT हैदराबादनी डेव्हलप केलं आपले सोल्युशन्स. काही जण ऑलरेडी 6Gच्या बद्दल पण चालू झालेला आहे रिसर्च. सो आय थिंक वी आर नॉट लेस दॅन एनिवेअर इन द वर्ल्ड. हे लक्षात घ्या, कॉन्फिडन्स घ्या. We are no less than any best country, any advanced country in the world. I'm just giving 2 examples which proved during pandemic. With 1.4 billion population, not easy to handle the lockouts and सगळ्या जणांचे 2 वर्ष क्लास पण ऑनलाईन झाले, हे सगळं झालं. पण आम्ही केव्हाही कुणाचंही वर्ष वाया घालवलं नाही. प्लीज रिमेंबर, आवर अकॅडमिक शेड्यूल मे हॅव गॉट डिस्टर्ब्ड. 3 महिने 4 महिने प्रोलॉंग झालं. जूनमध्ये जुलैमध्ये परीक्षा व्हायच्या अवधी ऑक्टोबरला झाल्या. पण कुणाचंही वर्ष त्याच्यामुळे वाया गेलेलं नाही आपल्या देशात. More than 50% of the nations of the world have declared holiday for 1 full year, 2 full years, and the students there have lost their 2 academic years. We did not lose because we were already prepared. Our digital infrastructure were already geared up. Digital India was already in place. Therefore, we made use of our lectures, etc. on online mode. We had a lot of LMS systems which were available. We had Swayam platform which was created, which is a self-learning tool for learning different courses, and also crediting that what we have done in the Swayam into your academic bank of credits. All of these phenomena helped us in the pandemic in one way. Look at the number of deaths. There were deaths. We are very sorry that many people lost their lives. We are very sorry for all of that. ऐसा नहीं है कि किसी की जिंदगी ऐसे चली गई तो हो गया, क्या हो गया, ऐसे नहीं है. हम दुखी है उसके बारे में. लेकिन look at the percentage. With 1.4 billion population, if 6 lakhs deaths have happened, imagine Italy, out of population, how many deaths happened? What happened in USA? What happened in Germany? What happened in most advanced countries of Europe and America? Their number of deaths were even higher than ours, despite their populations being much less. So we have controlled, managed. So we have our own spirit of helping each other. लोकांना मदत करणे. जेव्हा सडनली सगळं बंद झालं, लेबर्स वर मूव्हिंग, दे वर नॉट हॅव्हिंग ट्रान्सपोर्टेशन सिस्टम, दे वर वॉकिंग. हू गेव देम फूड? Each individual. So from houses they gave the food. There were many gurudwaras who opened their entire gurudwara for giving food. Langar chalaya. So I think we have this spirit of helping each other is very important. The next one is we developed indigenously Covaxin. We all know Covaxin was developed here. One of the finest vaccines. Initially, whole world was saying that ये ठीक नहीं है, गड़बड़ है. लेकिन बाद में पता चला कि efficiency wise our vaccine was better than most of the vaccines of the world. And we provided free vaccine to many nations during that time. And subsequently, even at some cost, but never with a motive of making profit. Our whole intent was to help others. Our intent was Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole world is one family. They are also our family members. We want to help them. Then Sarve Janaha Sukhino Bhavantu. We want the whole world to be happy. With this spirit, we gave free and also we gave at a cost, but to make up the cost which is incurred in creating that, not making huge profit. This is the spirit of India. This was also shown. Because of all of this, today, another area where we have shown the world that it can be possible is our digital financial inclusion. Whether it is direct benefit transfer of scholarship into the account of the student, no middleman, whether it is any subsidy for gas or for agriculture, it goes into the account of the person for whom it is meant. There is no middleman. नहीं तो कमीशन खाते थे. इसमें से तो एक फेमस स्टेटमेंट था कि जो दिल्ली से 100 रुपये निकलते तो एक्चुअल आदमी को 20 पहुंचते, 80 कहाँ गायब होते पता ही नहीं. आज 100 के 100 सबके घर में अपने अपने जगह में जा सकते हैं. ये टेक्नोलॉजी का यूटिलाइजेशन विद द राइट माइंड ऑफ माइंडसेट. सब लोगों का अच्छा होना चाहिए मन में है तो ये सब हो सकता है. ये भी किया. और आज 40% ऑफ द वर्ल्ड्स डिजिटल फाइनेंशियल ट्रांजैक्शंस हैपन फ्रॉम इंडिया. हमारा पॉपुलेशन तो अराउंड 1/6 है, लेकिन दैट मीन्स अराउंड not even 15 to 16%, but our digital transactions are 40% of the world. And which is all now nothing like black, everything will become white because you have to spend, it goes from one bank to the other bank through UPI. Such kind of a phenomena does not exist to such an extent anywhere in the world. And coming to that vaccination part, all the vaccinations which were done after you come out of the center, on your mobile you will get a certificate. Your first dose is over, second dose is over, the third one is over, everything. America, which is so-called the most advanced country in the world, they are giving handwritten slips कि तुम्हारा vaccination हो गया. क्या वैल्यू है उसकी? क्योंकि कोई भी फर्जी बना सकता है, लेकिन हमारे यहाँ digitally signed certificate is given, issued within seconds. What a power that we have shown. And therefore, our Smart India Hackathon, where students' engagement is there, where they are able to show their products, all of this, and during the pandemic, whole world's economy was going down. Ours was also down, but number of unicorns, startups से जो बने हैं, $1 billion companies, valuation जो हुआ, वो 100 क्रॉस कर दिया. और ऐसा कोई देश नहीं है जहाँ पैंडेमिक में ये बढ़ रहा है. यानी दिस इज़ अ वेरी सरप्राइजिंग फैक्ट फॉर द होल वर्ल्ड कि इसमें क्या जादू है. ये जादू इसमें ये है कि हमारे देश की जो परंपरा है, हमारे देश में जो गाढ़ा हुआ काफ़ी ज्ञान था, उसको हम भूल गए थे, विस्मरण हो गया था. उसको स्मरण दिलाने के बाद हर आदमी के अंदर एक जोश निर्माण हो गया, एक कॉन्फिडेंस निर्माण हो गया. और वो कॉन्फिडेंस वो हिस्ट्री क्लब से आता है. हिस्ट्री में जब बताते हैं शिवाजी महाराज ने क्या क्या किया था, तो हमको कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाता है. तब कर दिया है तो अभी क्यों नहीं कर सकते. तो इसलिए हमारे देश के बारे में, परंपराओं के बारे में जानना एक तरफ, हिस्ट्री को जानना एक तरफ, और उसको प्रयोग करके पुराना और नया. अब हमने इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम्स का एक डिवीजन मिनिस्ट्री ने तैयार किया है. जैसे लोगों को लगता है कि साइंस बाहर से आया, साइंस इधर से बाहर गया, ये पता कर लीजिए. वेदर इट इज़ फिजिक्स, जहाँ कणाद ने एटॉमिक के बारे में बताया है, केमिस्ट्री में बताया गया था. हमारे आयरन पिलर रस्ट बिना होके आज भी खड़ा है. सिमिलरली सिविल, टाउन प्लानिंग, वाटर रिसोर्स मैनेजमेंट, आर्किटेक्चर, you see the temples, 8-story stone structures with 60 ton of gopuram in Brihadeshwar temple for last 1000 years. कोई earthquake ने कुछ नहीं किया. See what a technology we had evolved. I think unless we become proud of all of this and then move ahead, वो पहले था करके आराम से बैठ गए, ये नहीं चलने वाला. नो कॉम्प्लेसेंसी. जो पहले किया था तो अभी हम उसको एंजॉय कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, नहीं चलेगा. आज के दिन हमको क्या ज़रूरत है, उस हिसाब से हमको खुद को ढालकर हमको आगे बढ़ना चाहिए. वो लीडरशिप क्वालिटी, वो लीडरशिप देश में आज फॉर्चुनेटली ऊपर भी है. हर कॉलेज यूनिवर्सिटी में वाइस चांसलर सुतवणे जी ऐसा कर रहे हैं, वैसे बाकी यूनिवर्सिटी भी करेंगे. तो हमारे देश को कोई रोक नहीं सकेगा. Within another 5-10 years, whatever glory which India enjoyed, first university of the world was from India. Please remember, of course, that part is now in Pakistan, called Takshashila University. The second was the Nalanda University. Both of them from 600 BC to 1200 AD, 1800 years tak, 1800 years, not 1-2 years. If there were global rankings for universities, which today we say that India का कोई 100 में नहीं है, 200 में नहीं है, 300 में आता है, ऐसे रोते हैं. लेकिन 600 BC to 1200 AD यदि किसी ने सर्वे किया होता तो all top 17, there were 17 such large universities in India, and there were no universities anywhere in the world. Whole world used to come to India for studying. So we would have got number 1 rank to 17 ranks. हाँ, वो सारे हमको ही मिलते थे, लेकिन बाद में किसी ने जला दिया, किसी ने तोड़ दिया, कुछ होके हम we have lost it. But we have all the capability in our DNA, in our genes. That same intellect is flowing. So if you put in some effort in the next 5 years, no one can stop you. You are talking about leadership talk here, but I am saying you are all leaders. All students here, you must clap for yourself. You are the leaders. And you will make it happen. ये करने की आप में ताकत है, जिम्मेदारी भी है, और आप जरूर ये करेंगे. ऐसे कहते हुए मैं मेरे 4 शब्द समाप्त करता हूँ. नमस्कार. This was one-way traffic. Now this way traffic is required. You can ask questions, you can give suggestions, and then we can continue our discussions. Okay?
Does anyone wants to ask any questions? Thank you, sir, for your inspiring and
If you don't ask any question, I will ask questions. No? So number one. Secondly, if you don't ask any question, means either you have understood everything or not understood anything of what all was said. Therefore, you must ask something or don't ask anything. You give your comments. ऐसा होना चाहिए. आपकी आइडिया आप बता सकते हो. डिफिकल्ट होता है पेशेंस एंड परसिवरेंस के लिए. इसीलिए ये जो यूथ एम्पावरिंग सेंटर बनाया है, आज का जो कार्यक्रम है, दिस इटसेल्फ टेक्स केयर ऑफ पेशेंस एंड परसिवरेंस. कितनी भी डिफिकल्टी आपको है और हाउएवर challenge is there and therefore you are not getting anything, that time you must meditate for just 5 to 10 minutes, not even more than that. Just forget everything and sit quietly in one place, concentrate yourself. You may get solution, you may not get. I'm not saying immediately solution. At least you will get that patience, that I must wait for some more time. Second day you again do it, then you will become calm and quiet. जब हो जाते हैं तब आपको अचानक एक दिन स्ट्राइक हो जाता है कि दिस इज व्हाट इज पॉसिबल एंड आई कैन डू इट. एंड मेनी पीपल हैव ऑब्जर्व दिस. सो देयरफॉर पेशेंस एंड परसिवरेंस कम्स फ्रॉम developing that attitude, and that comes from many times many people of the world have said that it is through meditation and keeping your cool. Don't get excited unnecessarily. Okay. दृष्टी नाही बाबा, मी खरं सांगू. I actually operate as on day-to-day basis. आज काय आलं ते आजच्या आज करून टाकायचं. ठीक आहे. पुढे काय होतंय ते होऊन दे असं म्हणून. कारण आपल्याला जे त्या वेळेला त्या दृष्टिकोनातून वाटतं की हे बरोबर आहे, चांगलं आहे आणि सगळंच आम्ही केलेलं बरोबरच असतं असंही नसतं. कधी कधी चुका पण होत असतात. पण आपण आपल्याला कॉन्फिडेंट आणि कमिटेड वाटतं की हे ठीक आहे, ह्या रस्त्याने गेलं तर चांगलं होणार. आपण त्या रस्त्याने जात राहायचं. मग बहुतेकदा तुम्ही पॅशनेट असाल, कमिटेड असाल, परसिवरन्स असेल तर नॅचरली तुम्हाला त्याच्यात 99% सक्सेस जरूर येतो. तुम्ही सक्सेसच्या मागे किंवा मला हे करायचं आहे, मला ही पोझिशन पाहिजे. बाय द वे, आय नेवर रिफ्लेक्टेड. नॉर्मली आय डोंट टेल, बट टुडे बिकॉज ऑफ हिज क्वेश्चन आय एम टेम्प्टेड टू टेल. इन्फॉर्मली फॉर इंडिव्हिज्युअल्स आय हॅव टोल्ड दिस की एक्सेप्ट my first job when I went to Arunachal Pradesh for a lecturer after my PhD from Indian Institute of Science, I had applied with an application and went there. After that, whatever positions I have come to, I have not applied anywhere. I have been asked to apply or I have been taken and taken there. People observe your performance, people observe the way you work and they pick you up. Therefore, कित्येक जण फॅकल्टीला म्हणत असतो मला प्रमोशनच नाही मिळालं. अरे रडत का बसता बाबा, तुमचं काम करत राहा. कुणी ना कुणी तुम्हाला ऑब्झर्व करून तुम्हाला उचलून घेऊन जाईल. कुणाला व्हाईस चान्सलर बनवेल, कुणाला डायरेक्टर बनवेल, कुणाला HOD होईल. आपल्या पण होत असतं. कारण कुणालाही संस्था चांगली चालली पाहिजेच वाटतं. कुणाला वाटतं सांगा आमची संस्था गळात जायला ताळात जायला पाहिजे असं वाटतं? कुणाला वाटत नाही. त्यामुळे ते असलेल्या डायरेक्टरना, प्रिन्सिपलना, व्हाईस चान्सलरना, चांगल्या व्यक्तींना उचलून देणं भाग पडतं आणि करतातच. त्यामुळे आपण फार त्याच्या मागे धावता न कामा आपलं आपलं काम करत राहायचं. आपल्याला जे चांगलं वाटतं ना ते करत राहा. ठीक आहे ना. काही कुणाला काही दृष्टांत वगैरे होत नाही बरं का असं.
Sir, India is already planning for national education policy. Can you let us know from when it would start, like actually from which year?
Started. See, many people ask this question to me. Not everything has happened, no doubt, but the policy has started getting implemented. The first thing I will tell you is it was announced on July 29, 2020. 2020, July 29 is the date on which the policy was accepted by the cabinet and announced. Within 8th day, one of the suggestions was you change the name of the ministry from Ministry of HRD, Human Resource Development, to Ministry of Education. And it was done by the government in the 8th day. So policy started implementing. Now, there are many facets where each university, each college will have to deliberate which part of it immediately I can do, we should start doing it. Each institution has its senate, it has its academic council. They are deliberating, they are doing a 4-year degree program, which is engineering is already 4 year. But in the science, arts, commerce, we used to have 3-year BA, 3-year BSc, 3-year BCom. They are slowly, many universities have started doing 4-year program. So their empowerment will enhance, their employability will enhance. If some of them want to go for higher studies, they were handicapped because if there is a 4-year program, you can directly also go for masters and PhD abroad. Otherwise, you have to spend 1 extra year. So one can do all of that because of this. This is one pause. Many universities have also adopted what is known as multidisciplinary programs, programs where different disciplines together offer a degree program. Programs like AI data science have started coming in. Programs where exit is possible at the end of 1 year, 2 year with a not degree but with a certificate, with a diploma. Some universities have already done, where some people come in into an education sector or particular college because of the pressure of the parents. अब मैं काय सांग सगळ्यांनी 3 इडियट्स बघितलाच असेल त्याच्यात सहस्रबुद्धेच होते पण त्या 3 इडियट्समध्ये जे एका विद्यार्थ्याला फोटोग्राफीमध्ये इंटरेस्ट आहे त्याला इंजिनियर बन म्हणून पाठवलं तर बिचाऱ्यांनी काय करावं लागलं बघितलंय तुम्ही. म्हणून जर असे काही विद्यार्थ्यांना पेरेंट्सनी किंवा त्यांच्या मित्रांनी किंवा त्यांच्या रिलेटिव्हनी तू मेडिकलच कर, तू हेच कर म्हणून केलं असेल आणि तुम्हाला 1 वर्षात लक्षात आलं की हे मला काय जमत नाहीये, तर तुमचं पूर्ण आयुष्य का बरबाद करून घ्यायचं तिथं फेल होत करत. तुम्ही बाहेर जाऊन दुसऱ्या कुठल्या तरी प्रोग्रामला जाऊन दुसरी कोणतरी तुम्हाला ज्याच्यात रुची आहे ते करू शकता आणि ह्यातले क्रेडिट्स पण घेऊन जाऊ शकता. ह्यातले केलेलं काम व्यर्थ नाही होत, हे पण एक महत्त्वाची भाग या पॉलिसीमध्ये आहे. ह्या गोष्टी अनेक युनिव्हर्सिटींनी, कॉलेजनी पार्शली, काही जणांनी फुल्ली ऑपरेट करायला सुरू केली आहे. आमच्या COEP टेक्नॉलॉजिकल युनिव्हर्सिटीमध्ये पण काही भाग ऑलरेडी आलेला आहे. त्यामुळे दिस क्वेश्चन दैट व्हेन इज इट गोइंग टू बी इम्प्लीमेंट, इट हैज स्टार्टेड गेटिंग इम्प्लीमेंट. 100% नहीं हुआ है, अभी हार्डली 10% हुआ है. We have 15 years time to implement it completely, which will enhance the quality of education in our country. For editing.
Hello, sir. First of all, thank you for preaching such valuable lessons. My question is that it is generally said that you must focus on a particular job, but most of the times it happens that you have multiple tasks at hand, but you are not able to give justice to each of the tasks, even if you are willing to satisfactorily. So, how to deal with such situations?
Very, very interesting, very important question, which often comes to everyone's life, sometime or the other. Both have their own values. Sometimes we need what we know as connecting the dots. Where you may be a mechanical engineer, but you need to know some part of electronics, some part of computer science. Only then your application in mechanical engineering will become better. And to that extent, doing different tasks, understanding different tasks is important. But when you go deep into some subject, you have to understand it in the complete nuances of that. Otherwise, your solution may not be a very sound solution. So both are equally important. That is why in the education sector, we talk about T. Education is in the shape of T. There is a depth in some part and there is enough width in the remaining part. So a student of chemical engineering should know not only chemistry, metallurgy, which is directly related, but they need to know control engineering. Without knowing control engineering, the chemical engineering processes cannot be controlled properly. So there is a hard requirement of electronics and instrumentation to be wedded with chemical engineering. Only then the chemical engineering product becomes better. Not only engineering to engineering. Many of these cases, you should know finance, you should know economics, you should know psychology also. If you create a product where people's acceptance level is very poor, we may not be able to use that product, even if this is the best product. So that width is going to be important. Therefore, when you have such a question in the mind, you decide in which area you want to go into depth and which other areas you want to just touch base to understand some connectivity of that. You cannot become expert in everything. You have to take help. And that's why in the startups, we often say, you may be a hardcore technology man. You require a business analytics person. You require a person who can do market survey. You require a man who can really go and sell the product. So you require a team of people who will be able to do. Therefore, you should understand a little bit that no one should be able to cheat you. To that extent, you should have the knowledge. But beyond that, you should go into depth in some part.
हॅलो सर, माझा प्रश्न नॅकबद्दल आहे सर. तुम्हाला की माझं जे प्रिव्हियस कॉलेज होतं आणि हे कॉलेज म्हणजे मी पी जीचं स्टुडंट आहे, तर मी दोन्हीमध्ये ऑब्झर्व केलं आहे की ग्रेडिंग तर सेम आहे. म्हणजे A+ ग्रेड माझ्या प्रिव्हियस कॉलेजला पण आहे आणि या कॉलेजला आहे, पण तिथे एंटरप्रेनर सेल नाही आहे, तिथे प्लेसमेंट्स पण तेवढी नाही आहे, एक्सप्लोजर पण तेवढं नाही आहे, पण सेम ग्रेड आहे. तर तुम्ही आत्ता अध्यक्ष झाले आहेत नॅकचे, तर त्याबद्दल तुम्ही काय काम करणार आहेत आणि तुम्ही त्या ज्या लोकल कॉलेजेस आहेत त्यांना कसं एम्पॉवर करणार आहे?
हे सगळं रेकॉर्ड करायला लागले, त्यामुळे मी डायरेक्टली याचा आन्सर देऊ शकणार नाही अनफॉर्च्युनेटली. पण देर आर मेनी थिंग्स विच रिक्वायर इम्प्रूव्हमेंट अँड आय हॅव डन मेनी थिंग्स इन द पास्ट इन डिफरंट प्लेसेस. Using that experience and what you said, I'm certainly going to get deep into it and try to see that the processes are very robust. Thereby, all such kind of things which are likely to happen are eliminated.
हॅलो सर, माझा प्रश्न असा आहे की अगर 2 वर्ष लॉकडाऊनच्या ह्याच्यामध्ये त्यांनी अगर ऑनलाईन मार्क्स देणं अप्रूव्ह केलेलं, तर ऑनलाईन डिग्रीसाठी का नाही गव्हर्नमेंट हे करत?
कशाचं कुठल्या विषयामध्ये?
कोणत्याही म्हणजे 4
नाही, कोणत्याही म्हणजे थोडीशी अवघड आहे. मी सांगतो तुला. इन मोस्ट ऑफ द केसेस वेअर यू डू नॉट रिक्वायर हँड्स ऑन एक्सपिरियन्स किंवा मशीनना स्वतः हाताळायची गरज नाही आहे, असे जे विषय आहेत त्या सगळ्यामध्ये ऑनलाईन डिग्री परमिशन दिलेली आहे. आणि बाकी अशा विषयांमध्ये पण 20% वाढवून 40% ऑनलाईन कंटेंट तुम्ही शिकू शकता, हेही केलेलं आहे. म्हणजे आपल्या कॉलेजमध्ये जर तुमच्या बीटेक प्रोग्राममध्ये 180 किंवा 200 क्रेडिट्स आहेत, तर 200चे 20% होत होते 40. एवढे क्रेडिट तुम्ही कुठल्याही इन्स्टिट्यूटमधून मूकच्या मार्फत, म्हणजे IIT मद्रासचा, IIT बॉम्बेचा कुठलाही कोर्स घेऊन तुम्ही ते तुमच्या ग्रेडशीटमध्ये येण्यासारखं करू शकता. हे ऑलरेडी आहे. पण 100% अलाउड नव्हतं आणि नाही आहे. त्याला कारण हेच आहे की काही विषय असे असतात त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला ॲक्च्युअल इक्विपमेंटवरती काम करावं लागतं, त्याला समजून घ्यावं लागतं, नाहीतर तुम्ही चांगले ग्रॅज्युएट बनू शकत नाही. आता मी एक्झाम्पल देतो. आता BA हिस्ट्री करायची आहे किंवा BA इकॉनॉमिक्स शिकायचं आहे किंवा BCom कॉमर्समध्ये करायचं आहे किंवा बिझनेस मॅनेजमेंट शिकायचं. ह्या सगळ्या विषयांमध्ये 100% डिग्री तुम्ही ऑनलाईनच्या माध्यमातून किंवा ओपन अँड डिस्टन्स लर्निंगच्या माध्यमातून करू शकता. त्याला काही काळजी नाही. असे अनेक युनिव्हर्सिटी आज करतायत, त्याला काही समस्या पण नाही आहे. पण मी आता 1-2 उदाहरणं देतो. तुम्ही एरोस्पेस इंजिनियर आहे किंवा तुम्ही पायलटचा कोर्स करतो आणि सगळं ऑनलाईनमध्ये कम्प्युटरमध्ये सगळं बघून मी केलं, शिकलं, त्याचं सगळं आलं. त्या विमानाचा तू पायलट म्हणून गेला असता, तुझ्या विमानात कुणीतरी ह्यातले बसतील का सांग मला? कुणी बसणार नाही. सेम इज द केस विथ डॉक्टर. त्यांनी सगळं ऑनलाईन सगळं बघितलं, परफेक्ट ऑपरेशन कसं होतं, हे कात्री कशी चालवतात, स्टिचिंग कसं करतात, सगळं केलेलं आहे. त्या सर्जनकडे तुझं डोळ्याचं ऑपरेशन असो, पोटाचं ऑपरेशन करायला जाशील का? नाही जाणार ना. हाच प्रश्न सुप्रीम कोर्टाने ज्यांनी ऑनलाईन डिग्री इंजिनिअरिंगचे दिलेल्या होत्या त्यांच्यावरती प्रश्न आला होता. आणि तेव्हा सुप्रीम कोर्टने हा प्रश्न त्या वकिलांना काउंटर प्रश्न विचारला. त्यामुळे काही विषय आहेत त्याच्यामध्ये फुल 100% करता येणार नाही. पण आता मेडिकलमध्ये पण थेरॉटिकल आहे, तुला डायग्राम काढून दाखवून काही शिकवायचं आहे. ते उलट त्या क्लासरूमपेक्षा डायरेक्ट ऑनलाईनमध्ये चांगलं शिकू शकतो. आय विल टेल यू, टुडे वी हॅव टेक्नॉलॉजीज कॉल्ड ऑगमेंटेड रियालिटी, व्हर्च्युअल रियालिटी, मेटावर्स. ह्या सगळ्या ज्या नवीन टेक्नॉलॉजी आहेत त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला अक्षरशः क्लासरूममध्ये जास्तीत जास्त ब्लॅकबोर्डवरती चित्र काढू शकतो किंवा ओव्हरहेड प्रोजेक्टरमध्ये दाखवू शकतो. पण 3 डायमेन्शनलमध्ये तुमच्या हार्टमध्ये जाऊन हार्ट पंप कसं करताय, वेंट्रिकल्स कुठे आहेत दाखवेपर्यंत, किंवा इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स मशीन असेल तर त्याच्यामध्ये काही गोष्टी डायरेक्ट दिसत नाही आपल्याला. इलेक्ट्रॉन मुवमेंट कोणी पाहिलेलं आहे? नाही पाहिलेलं. पण तरीसुद्धा तो कसा जातो म्हणायची कल्पना करून त्या ऑगमेंटेड रियालिटीच्या मार्फत तो शिकवलं तर वाय पॉझिटिव्ह चार्ज, निगेटिव्ह चार्ज, इलेक्ट्रॉन चार्ज काय होतं हे समजायला सोपं होतं. त्यामुळे काही गोष्टी थेरॉटिकल ज्या दाखवायच्या आहेत त्या ऑनलाईनमध्ये कदाचित क्लासरूमपेक्षा जास्ती चांगल्या होऊ शकतात. पण काही गोष्टी ज्याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला ते सर्किट बनवायचं आहे, त्याला कनेक्शन्स करायचे आहेत, ते टेस्ट करायचं आहे, ते तुम्ही नुसतंच पिक्चरमध्ये बघितलं तर होत नाही. त्याच्यामुळे वायवामध्ये किती जणांना काय प्रॉब्लेम येतात बघितलं की नाही, ते सगळेजण ते ती येलो वायर आहे ना ती तिकडे जाऊन लाव म्हणजे होऊन जाईल तुझं, असं सगळं सांगावं लागतंय. तसं सगळे तुमच्या वायवामध्ये प्रॉब्लेम येतात कारण स्वतःनी केलेलं नसतं. स्वतःनी केलेल्या गोष्टी आपल्याला चांगल्या लक्षात येतात. म्हणून प्रॅक्टिकल जिथं जिथं जास्ती लागतं त्या गोष्टी डायरेक्ट ऑनलाईनमध्ये होऊ शकत नाही. आता गव्हर्नमेंट डिजिटल युनिव्हर्सिटीची संकल्पना पार्लिमेंट ॲक्ट येणार आहे इन द फॉर्म ऑफ हब अँड स्पोक मॉडेल. हब इज दी सेंट्रल वन लोकेशन. त्याला काही बिल्डिंग पण लागणार नाही, नुसते सर्व्हर्स क्लाउडमध्ये असेल तर झालं. आणि त्याच्यानंतर सगळ्या फिजिकल युनिव्हर्सिटीज ज्या आहेत, जसं COEP युनिव्हर्सिटी असेल, कुणी IIT असेल, कुणी पुणे विद्यापीठ आपलं SPPU असेल, हे कुणीही त्याचे स्पोक्स बनवून त्यांचे कोर्स तिथं फ्लोट करू शकतील. आणि तुम्ही एकाच कॉलेजचे नसताना 10 कॉलेजचे 20 कॉलेजचे क्रेडिट्स घेऊन तुमची डिग्री प्राप्त करू शकता. हे साध्य होणार आहे तर पुढच्याच काही दिवसात.
Good afternoon, sir. My question is that in the state of developing world, how to develop yourself to stay in the competition of developing world?
What is called as developed world, there is something called developing world, something called underdeveloped world, whatever it is. We are moving ahead. These are all definitions given by certain parameters. So we were earlier underdeveloped country. We have come into the category of developing nation. And the way we are moving forward in many parameters, including now more than 3.5 trillion economy, 5th largest economy in the world, moving towards even 3rd largest economy in the world, young population, which is demographic dividend. It is very soon that we will become also developed country. The question is more than what is called underdeveloped or developed or developing. The most important issue is what is the human nature that we are going to promote is the most important. That is why these universal human values are important. Many countries of the world, they subjugated other countries. For example, United Kingdom, we used to say that त्यांचा सूर्य अस्तच होत नाही. कारण ऑस्ट्रेलियामध्ये पण त्यांची पॉवर होती, तिकडं तिकडपर्यंत होती. म्हटल्यावर त्यांचा सूर्य अस्त न होणारा देश असं म्हणतो. पण ते दुसऱ्यांना काय करत होते, त्यांचे सगळं पूर्ण त्यांच्या म्हणजे यू आर आस्किंग इन इंग्लिश, आय डोंट नो वेदर यू नो मराठी ऑर नॉट. ते त्यांचे दे वर ट्राइंग टू एक्सप्लॉइट दोज नेशन्स, टेक अवे ऑल दॅट मनी अँड दे बिकेम रिच इन द प्रोसेस. When they came here, they were the poorest country. Our economy was 27% of the GDP of the world. उसके पहले तो 33 था. तो 33, then there were several invasions. We went down to 27. Britishers left us not even 3% from 27%. So this is what is the story. So similarly today, I should not mention, but China is doing the same thing. Whether it is Sri Lanka, whether it is many other countries, South Africa, many countries, they are giving loan, etc., and trying to capture their ports, everything. And it is a different kind of a subjugation. But our nation, Dr. Abdul Kalam used to say often, we are the only country in the world who spread our culture everywhere. You go to Indonesia, you go to Malaysia, you go to different parts of the world, including in the old Soviet Union, in some of the countries like Azerbaijan, there is a philosophy of India reflected there. But we did not capture, we did not control them. We only gave the best values, practices of ours to the rest of the world. So that is what is more important than becoming a developed. We may become a developed country, but if we are going to control everyone and say that हम जैसे कहेंगे वैसे ही करना है, then I think we have lost. We are not a good developed country. And that spirit is there in our country, and let us keep that spirit alive. That is important.
Hello, sir. I'm having a question in line with the topic of today's discussion. That is, there's a motivational speaker named Simon Sinek who always uses this popular phrase of his that leadership is a choice. So, but before leading others, it is important that you yourselves are very much clear about what your vision is. So, to term it shortly, what are your thoughts about leading yourselves before leading others? And what are some of the qualities which you inculcated within yourself to lead others so successfully?
मला सगळ्यांना माहिती असेल ती रामदास स्वामींची गोष्ट आहे. ती मी अनेकदा सगळीकडे बाहेर पण सांगतो. इथं महाराष्ट्रात तर सांगायची गरज पडू नये, पण इथेही सांगतो. एक बाई आली आणि म्हणाली की माझा मुलगा तो गूळ जास्ती खातो, त्याला गूळ खाऊ नका म्हणून सांगा म्हणून. सो इफ यू वॉन्ट टू इन इंग्लिश, that lady went to that Ramdas Swamiji and said, my son eats too much jaggery, tell him not to eat because it will spoil the teeth of my child. He said, come tomorrow. She went tomorrow, and even next day. He said, come tomorrow. Again, same thing. Then he did not say, come tomorrow. He said, next week, next month. I say 6 months passed away. And one fine morning, after about 6 months, that Swamiji said to that child, stop eating jaggery. This mother was wonderstruck. What happened? You could have told this in the next day itself. When I brought the child on the first day, you could have said this. Why did you not tell? Then he said, I myself was eating jaggery. How can I tell the child that don't do it? So I had tried. And first I thought in one day I can control. So one day not happened, 2 days not happened. Then I took the time of 1 week, still not happened. Then I said 1 month, still not happened. And after 5 months, today I have stopped taking jaggery, and I have now confidence in telling the child that don't eat it. So same way, leadership means if you have to say something, you have to follow that. Without that, your words have no meaning. That is why there is a paper in IAS, for UPSC called Value Education. On that there is a subject. And to my surprise, I was on the part of the committee to revise the entire curriculum structure of the UPSC. जो IAS selection होता है उसका. So we went to IAS Academy in Lal Bahadur Shastri Academy in Dehradun. I had gone there and interacted with the director and others. He said, हमारे यहाँ पेपर तो है एक, उसमें एक कैंडिडेट था जिसका उस सब्जेक्ट में हाईएस्ट मार्क्स था, वैल्यू एजुकेशन, वैल्यू सिस्टम्स के ऊपर, एथिक्स, ऑनेस्टी, इंटेग्रिटी. ये पेपर में उसने ऑलमोस्ट 100 में 100 मार्क्स ले लिए थे. एंड वो मोस्ट अनएथिकल था उस इंस्टीट्यूट में. तो देयरफॉर इफ दैट काइंड ऑफ ए person becomes a teacher of value, how can students imbibe values, you tell me? So first that teacher has to follow the values, ethics. हम बहुत बार ये भी कहते हैं कि घर में फ़ोन आता है और लड़का लड़की किसी ने उठाया तो कोई अंकल से आया है, तो लड़की बोलती पिताजी को, बोलो मैं घर में नहीं हूँ. तो क्या वैल्यूज़ पेरेंट्स आर गिविंग टू द चाइल्ड? अरे उसको आप बोलना नहीं चाहते हो तो सीधा बोलो ना, मैं अभी बिजी हूँ, बाद में बात करूँगा, मैं नहीं बात करूँगा तुमसे, ऐसे स्ट्रेट बोलो. लेकिन मैं घर में नहीं हूँ, झूठ बोल दिया. तो ये वैल्यू सिस्टम बताने वाले लीडर जो भी हो, घर में पेरेंट्स लीडर हो सकते हैं, तो आप फ्रेंड्स के साथ लीडर हो सकते हो, टीचर एंड प्रिंसिपल कॉलेज के लिए हो सकते हैं, पॉलिटिशियंस देश के लिए लीडर हो सकते हैं. इन सब लोगों को जब तक जो बोल रहे हैं वो खुद फॉलो नहीं करेंगे तब तक उसको कोई वेट नहीं देगा. नो वन विल वैल्यू इट. एंड देयरफॉर द फर्स्ट प्रिंसिपल इज दैट. मैं इधर बता रहा हूँ आपको, मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग कौन साहब, उस टाइम में माय डियर फ्रेंड लेट काकड़े है, सॉरी काजड़े वाज द HOD and he was also dean. मैं ज्वाइन किया तब अगस्त दी 16th आई ज्वाइन. ऑलरेडी सेमेस्टर स्टार्टेड, कोर्स वॉज अलॉटेड. तो मैं आने के बाद बोला मैं खाली कैसे बैठूँ डायरेक्टर करके, मुझे क्लास लेना है. तो देन नहीं नहीं सेमेस्टर का तो क्लास अलॉटमेंट हो गया है, तो अभी आप आराम कीजिए. तो मैंने बोला इसे ठीक नहीं लग रहा है. बट वो ठीक नहीं है क्या है, फॉर्चुनेटली अनफॉर्चुनेटली वॉट एवर हैपन, सम फैकल्टी के बारे में लोग खुश नहीं थे, तो एक कोर्स चेंज करना था. मैं बोला दिस इज़ द अपॉर्चुनिटी. आई स्टार्टेड टेकिंग क्लासेस फ्रॉम सितंबर. देन पीपल थॉट प्रॉब्ली कि ये डायरेक्टर ऐसे ही दिखाने के लिए, हम सब लोगों को काम में लगाने के लिए क्लास ले रहे हैं, अगले सेमेस्टर तो नहीं लेगा. तो फिर मैंने नेक्स्ट सेमेस्टर में भी अलॉटमेंट करने के लिए बोला, उसके नेक्स्ट सेमेस्टर में भी बोला. 2 साल हो गए, 4 साल हो गए. तो ये खतरनाक आदमी है करके लोगों को पता चल गया कि ये खुद क्लास लेता है, लोगों को लेने के लिए मजबूर करता है. तो ये आप तब करोगे तब आप खुद क्लास लोगे. अब खुद क्लास नहीं लोगे और दूसरों को बोलेंगे क्लास रेगुलरली लेना चाहिए, तो आपका कौन सुनने वाला है. तो दिस इज व्हाट इज द लीडरशिप ऑल अबाउट. शेयर के भी कोर्स लिए, प्रोडक्शन भी लिया. सो जो कोर्स आया पल्ले में जो आया वो ले लिया. हाँ नहीं, जहाँ भी जो भी पल्ले में आ गया उसको ले लिया, झेल लिया उसको ऐसे. नाही, मी जे सांगितलं की ह्या स्टुडंट इंडक्शन प्रोग्राम जो 2-3 आठवड्याचा सुरुवातीला आहे, त्याच्यामध्ये हे सगळे बिंदू रुजवायचा प्रयत्न सुरू होतो. आणि ते करणारे प्राध्यापक पण तसे असले पाहिजेत. नाहीतर सांगणारा आपलं लोका सांगे ब्रह्मज्ञान आपण कोरडा पाषाण असं असता कामा नये. तर असे व्यक्ती जर त्यांनी सांगितलं तर तुम्हाला ते लगेच पटतं. आणि अशा यूथ पिरियडमध्ये यू आर ए व्हेरी मॅलिएबल. मेटलर्जीचे लोक आहेत आणि मेकॅनिकलचे आहेत. वी हॅव ए वर्ड कॉल्ड मॅलिएबिलिटी. तर अशा वयामध्ये तुम्ही जसं ठोकता तसं तो शेप घेऊ शकतो. बाकी एकदा रिजिड झाले, आता सुतवण्यांना काय सांगितलं तरी काय उपयोग नाही, ते आपलं जसं आहे तसंच राहणार. सहस्रबुद्धेंना काय सांगितलं तरी उपयोग नाही, ते कशा स्टाईलचे आहेत तसंच राहणार. पण विद्यार्थी जे 10, 12, 15, 16 वर्ष 18 वर्षाचे असतात त्यावेळेला एक भयंकर देशप्रेम पण असतं, पॅशन पण असते. आपण खराब केव्हा होतो, हळूहळू लाईफमध्ये जॉबमध्ये गेलो, तिथं काहीतरी गडबड झाली, पण आपण त्यात सामील होतो. फॅमिली आली, बायको विचारते हे पण आण ते पण आण, कुठून आणू, गडबड चालू होते. असे गडबडी लाईफमध्ये मग येतात, सुरुवातीला कधी असत नाही. त्यामुळे तो शिक्कामोर्तब पक्का करण्याचं काम ह्या कॉलेजमध्ये सुरुवातीच्या पहिल्या काही दिवसांमध्ये आणि पहिल्या त्या 3-4 वर्षामध्ये करू शकतो. आणि म्हणून आमच्या सगळ्या कॉलेजच्या फॅकल्टींना त्यांनी स्वतः आपल्याला बदलायला पाहिजे. हां, पण त्यांना न बदलता तुम्हाला बदलवतो म्हणून प्रयत्न केला तर कधी होणार नाही. आणि त्यांनी जर तसं केलं तर मला नाही वाटत की काही चिंता आहे. आणि तू सिव्हिल इंजिनिअरिंग आणि कम्प्युटर अँड आय टीचं कम्पेअर केलंस. आज AICTने पण अलाव केलं आहे आणि तुम्हाला सगळ्यांना एक मेजर डिग्री आणि एक मायनर डिग्री करण्याची परमिशन. म्हणजे सिव्हिल इंजिनिअरिंग मेजर डिग्री करून तुम्ही कम्प्युटर सायन्सची मायनर डिग्री किंवा इलेक्ट्रिकलची मायनर डिग्री किंवा AI डेटा सायन्सची मायनर डिग्री किंवा रोबॉटिक्सची मायनर डिग्री करू शकता. म्हणजे तुम्हाला दोन्हीकडनं अपॉर्च्युनिटी मिळू शकते. आणि जर सगळेजण कम्प्युटर इंजिनियर झाले तर हे बिल्डिंग कोण बनवणार, मी प्रश्न विचारतो. कोण मेकॅनिकल इंजिनिअरिंगचे मशीन बनवणार, कोण मेटलर्जीचे सगळे आपल्याला लागणारे धातू वगैरे तयार करून ते कोण करणार. आपल्याला सगळे इंजिनियरची गरज आहे, पण तिथं जॉब कमी आहेत. पण तिथे पण जॉब जे आहे त्याच्यामध्ये जर तुम्हाला कम्प्युटरचं आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजन्सचं ज्ञान असेल तर तिथे तुम्ही आणखीनही चमकाल. त्यामुळे तुम्हाला दुसरे विषय पण थोडे थोडे शिकायची गरज आहे. पण सिव्हिल इंजिनिअरिंग इज ऑल्सो इम्पॉर्टंट, मेटलर्जी इज इम्पॉर्टंट, प्रोडक्शन इज इम्पॉर्टंट. हे लक्षात घ्या. नाहीतर सगळ्या जणांनी कम्प्युटर, आय टी नाही मिळालं तर मग इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, नाही मिळालं तर मग इन्स्ट्रुमेंटेशन, नाही मिळालं तर मेकॅनिकल, नाही मिळालं तर इलेक्ट्रिकल, नाही मिळालं तर प्रोडक्शन, नाही मिळालं तर सिव्हिल, हे लास्टला आम्ही मेटलर्जी कुठे नाही मिळालं तर जायचं म्हणून जे आहे ना, ही भावना बाहेर काढा. सगळ्यांना महत्त्व आहे, सगळे इम्पॉर्टंट आहेत, पण त्याच्यात आपल्याला थोडं ॲडिशनल ज्ञान संपादन करण्याची गरज आहे. आणि जर तुम्ही कुठल्याही विषयात, फॉरगेट इंजिनिअरिंग, तुम्ही चांगला पेंटर व्हा, चांगला म्युझिशियन व्हा, त्याला पण इतकीच व्हॅल्यू आहे. असं नाही आहे की फक्त इंजिनियरच व्हायला पाहिजे किंवा मेडिकल डॉक्टरच व्हायला पाहिजे. ज्या विषयामध्ये आपण जातो तिथं पूर्णपणे आपल्याला झोकून टाकलं पाहिजे, त्याच्यामध्ये एक्सलन्स अचीव केलं पाहिजे. ही स्पिरिट जर घेऊन गेलो तर कुठल्याही विषयामध्ये कधीही जॉबला कमतरता नाही. थँक्यू.
Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to invite Sakshi to brief about our club.
Thank you so much, sir. Will not take much time. Thank you so much, sir. Well, like seriously, we are blessed to have you and all my dear faculties and supportive faculties. We can say, sir, we just proposal घेऊन गेले होते. Like it was started from 6 months early. Dhamangavkar sir, Raval sir, and everyone supported. And then I went to VC, and then VC gave me the strong backbone, Virazdar sir, and it happened so smoothly. And like थैंक यू सो मच फॉर एवरीवन. एंड अभी हम जैसे सभी ने सुना है वाईसी का बहुत प्रमोशन हुआ है, सभी को लाइंस भी पाठ हो गई होगी. युवा मतलब क्या, युवा मतलब गति, और जब गति को सही दिशा दी जाती है तब होती है प्रगति. बट माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, ये यूथ एम्पावरिंग सेंटर आपके लिए ही बनाया गया है. एंड जैसे सर ने और सभी आपने कहा कि कैसे अपने अंदर जो है वो एक महसूसता की शक्ति कम हो गई है, रियलाइजेशन पावर, कि हम बहुत स्पेशल है, हम बहुत विशेष है. इसी एक रियलाइजेशन, जैसे सर ने बोला विस्मरण और स्मृति का, सब खेल स्मृति और विस्मृति का ही है. तो ये एक जब हमारे अंदर वो एक स्पेशल, हम बहुत स्पेशल है, हम बहुत विशेष है, हम युवा कुछ कर दिखाने के लिए आए हैं. हम युवा एक ज्ञान और विज्ञान से स्वर्णिम भारत ज़रूर लेकर आएंगे. ये एक रियलाइजेशन अगर हमें हुआ तो हम ज़रूर एक आगे जो भारत को एक स्वर्णिम भारत ज़रूर बना सकते हैं. थैंक यू सर. आप सभी इसकी फैसिलिटी का यूज़ करें. और अभी नेक्स्ट वी हैव ट्री प्लांटेशन, सो youth can join over there also. Yes. And our team, oh. So, thank you sir. Actually एक टीम के साथ फोटो. All the YC team members, please come here. We'll have a pic. And Manik, please.
An important announcement for everyone that refreshments are waiting for you outside. And second,